What's going on, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius? It's your girl D here with your career, finance, and business spread. This is the first time I'm doing this video, and I'm starting off with my fire signs. So I'm going to do a 5-card spread. We're going to talk about things all related to business, finance, and career. All right? See what energies are out here for you guys. I know everything's going on crazily with COVID, and people are really interested in what's going on with their money. All right, so let's get some cards out here and see what we got going on. All right, that's way too many that turned over. What else do we got going on here for my water sign? Not my water signs, my fire signs, my Aries, my Leo, my Sagittarius. Some of you might be partnering up with water signs in reference to business opportunities. Some of you may be currently in the process of dissolving business partnerships, whether it's a workplace environment or a business opportunity with somebody with strong water in their chart. What else we got going on here? I need 3 more cards. Okay. 2 more. Alright, those are our 2. So let's see what the overall energy is for your business, career, and finance spread. So we have overall energy is the Queen of Cups reverse here. So what I'm feeling strongly here with this energy here is that you could be, some of you could be in a work environment where your boss is very, you don't have a boss that's compassionate. They're not compassionate in reference to, what you're going through. You could be in an environment, especially with COVID going on. You could have issues where you're trying to figure out how to get your kids to a babysitter. How to, if you can find someone who will watch your children. For those of you, I'm feeling strongly who have children. It's like it's difficult for you in reference to work. For those of you who've been laid off or trying to go back or trying to find a new job, childcare. So it's very difficult for you to find something because, you're going to have to check on your children. You may need something part-time. Some of you who are going back to a job, your bosses may be telling you, well, we can't do part-time. We need you full-time or not at all. And that's causing a problem here, in reference to who's going to be able to take care of your children. I'm feeling that strongly here for a lot of you that's the main issue in reference to finding a job. For others of you, it's your bosses. Your bosses are just very, they don't have any compassion for what you're experiencing and what you're going through. Some of you may be having issues with your boss right now. Someone who is very, so some of you, I'm feeling like your boss is requiring you to do more work than necessary. Or they're very insecure about what's going on. I'm feeling a strongly of a boss who is, some of you, I just get that your boss is just really unsupportive of your situation and what you have going on. For those in the management level, I'm getting that, your higher ups are not being sympathetic to what it is that you have going on personally as well. You can have personal things going on outside the job as well as you trying to manage your department and what's going on in your department. And it's like the upper, the people in the upper management who you answer to, they could care less about what you got going on. A lot of you are feeling very pressured right now. You're feeling caught in between, a rock and a hard place with trying to get whatever your employees need, but yet trying to meet demands of upper management. And it's like you're feeling like you don't have enough support. Some of you who manage or in a management position where you have people that you manage, you may not have enough support right now, so it's very difficult for you to get that support as far as the hiring and the criteria. That's what I'm just getting off of the Queen of Cups in reverse energy. But the current energy at this time is this is the 2 of Pentacles. So I'm getting juggling here, finances. A lot of people having some problems with money, of course, naturally with the COVID situation going on. Trying to figure out how to maximize the money that they have. Some people have savings, some people have investments, and they're looking at the best way to grow it so that they stop losing it. What's going on right now with COVID is the stock market is going crazy. So a lot of people are losing their investments. Their 401ks are just dropping and bottoming out. So a lot of people are looking at what they can do. A lot of people are looking at other countries to see what other countries are doing in reference to investing overseas and with overseas companies. So you'll have a lot of people talking to stockbrokers. They're looking into the speculative markets in reference to what they can do to make their money grow. Various forms of investments where you may have I just drew a blank here. The exchange markets, currency markets, going online, doing business online, and reaching out to businesses that way. So I'm feeling a lot of that going on. I'm feeling a lot of people might be going to the banks and borrowing money because they're looking to borrow off of the property value of their houses or their businesses, their physical their physical buildings, in order to invest into something else so that they can start another partnership or a venture. I get a lot of people who are partnering up with other people as well with this Two of Pentacles energy. But it's like the challenge is the Knight of Swords energy. So the challenge in you trying to grow your money in whatever way you're trying to grow it is information. All right, being able to get all of the documentation that you need, being able to get all your questions answered, setting up meetings, communicating with people to figure out what needs to be done. I'm showing that is the problem. That's a heavy issue with you guys right now in reference to trying to make these partnerships work, in reference to trying to find out what's the investment for you. It could be a matter of, okay, well, you have to pay these stockbrokers to do what it is that you needed to do, but a lot of them are not giving you the information. A lot of people are getting hip and wise to that now, so they're doing their own research because they're not going to allow these people to just tell them whatever they want to tell them just to get the money from them. So I'm getting communication is key. There's a lot of information that's being withheld. There's a lot of information that is not being shared. A lot of people are just not doing their due diligence and not doing their due research. But the challenge is that there are some people who are out here trying to do that. Because the Page of Swords energy talks to me about you thinking about, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to research? What do I need to find out? The Knights are all about taking that journey of communicating, going back and forth to people saying, hey, what do I need to do about this? How do I go about doing that? And with the Swords energy, that's all about communication. So people could be going online, reading books, talking to consultants, things like that. But that's the challenge. The challenge is getting enough information so that you're able to make the best investments you can. Now, your spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, higher self want you to embody or keep in mind the Chariot energy in reverse here. This Chariot energy here is Cancerian energy, which talks to me about nurturing, caring. Again, I get that with the Queen of Cups in reverse energy here. There has to be a little bit more compassion due to the different types of people that you're dealing with and people's needs and what's going on right now based on what's going on in the economy. There's not enough compassion. Some people may not be able to move forward with their business endeavors for whatever reason. The Chariot in reverse also talks about not being able to move forward because there are, things that are not in place. With the Chariot, you're talking about your emotions, so your internal emotions versus what's going on externally, it's not aligned. And that could be because of a lack of information. So the universe is telling you strongly to hold off moving forward on any investments, moving forward with paying anybody for any information, for any, hold off on getting loans, hold off on doing any type of investments until you have all the information you need. That's what I'm feeling strongly here. But where your head is at is the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is something where you feel it's going to be advantageous for you. You feel as if it's going to bring you a sense of peace and happiness and emotional stability here, because most people, when it comes to money, the more money you have, the more you're able to supply your emotional needs and the things that you want. So this is where your head is at. You're like, look, I just want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be able to, some of you, you're looking to give to charitable organizations. You're looking to donate, but you're trying to find out what the red tape is about that, and you're hesitant on moving forward, but your heart is in the right place. You want to donate, you want to help out. some of you in reference to, you being upper middle management, it's all about red tape. It's all about, okay, we need the funds to do what, so that we can trickle that down into the organization. And so again, it's all about doing due diligence, research. What can we do? A lot of you, you're going to governments to get loans. You're going to state and government agencies to get financing. So it's like, what packages are out there now? I just saw Kanye West. There was an article about Kanye West getting a large amount of money for his Yeezy business through, I guess, some type of Trump administration bill that had passed. It was just in the news the other day, and I didn't even read it. But what I'm understanding is that there's money out there for business owners, but it's like the challenge is you're trying to get that information and find out what's available. There's a lot that's going on in the news, but when you go to these banks, they're telling you something different, or they're acting as if they don't know, what you're referring to. When you're telling them, hey, well, this is what on the news they said that, this was available. So you got to do your research. And so a lot of you, because that research, for whatever reason, that information is not there, you're at a hold, you're at a standstill, you can't move forward with your projects, you're not able to move forward with expanding. For those of you who are trying to start a business, you're not able to move forward with that. It's all about the money being tied up. It's all about the communication. It's all about, I'm feeling strongly, paperwork is what I'm getting. The outcome here is the justice in reverse. And this also talks about the courts being tied up as well with the justice in reverse here. It's all about the paperwork being tied up, the courts being closed in a lot of areas of the country because of COVID, appointment only. So things are going to be a lot slower. There's a bottleneck going on with court proceedings, whether there's whether there's licenses that are needed to start partnerships, whether there's documentations that need to be notarized or stamped in reference to moving assets from one place to another. Whether it is red tape in a corporate situation that has to trickle down from the board all the way down to lower management. Things are just being held up, and it's a bottleneck. People are trying to be patient. They really are. They're trying to trying to be empathetic and compassionate because of what's going on. They understand everybody as a whole is going through some changes, but it's just a matter of red tape. The justice in reverse and the Knight of Swords. Making sure you have all your I's dotted, all your T's crossed, making sure that the documents that you need are in place, making sure you have the right documents, that if there's any laws that have changed, that you have that updated so that when you're filing, your court documents, that you don't have to do it over again. You find out you did it wrong. You don't have the updated form. You need the most updated form. The rules have changed now. Now you got to do this. Like, this is what I'm getting strongly in reference to what you fire signs are dealing with in reference to business. So let me get you some advice here. Let's see what advice we can get you. What messages of advice do we have from our fire signs in reference to their finances, business, and career? What messages do we have for the fire signs in reference to finance, business, and career? This is going to be for July 2020. Some of you need help filling out the paperwork. You don't have the help you need. You're trying to call people, you're online forever, or you're waiting for callbacks. I'm getting that strongly here. Okay, so we have Yang. A lot of you just need to take action. Some of you need to take your own action. You need to be proactive. Some of you, you're calling and trying to get information from others, but you may not be getting the information that you need, or it may not be making sense. So you may need to do your own research. So a lot of you are going to have to take a proactive approach towards getting the information that you need so that you're able to move forward in the manner in which you want to move forward. Some of you are realizing that sitting back and waiting, that's all you can do to a certain extent. But as far as the information on it, while you're waiting for the justice in the court systems to, process your paperwork, you could be doing your own research just so that you have all your I's dotted and T's crossed. Okay, because here I'm getting strongly, for some of you, there's information that you're not being given. It may not be intently not given to you with the intention of not giving it to you. It could just be carelessness, people being careless. People not knowing, oh, I didn't know you didn't know that. Well, I didn't know you needed to know that. Well, I didn't know I needed to know it either, but I know now I need to know it. That type of energy. So it's just very important that you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and do all your research as well. Don't just rely on a consultant because you're paying them. You should be able to have a conversation with this consultant where you understand if they're bullshitting you, if they're leaving something out or not, and a lot of people don't. So a lot of people, need to take some classes, okay? Just some basic general business classes. Some people are in disagreement with, oh, you don't need a degree to run a business. Well, in this day and age, you do need some classes. You need to know how to do basic accounting. So you need to learn how to take an accounting course. You need to understand the difference between what is a S corporation and a C corporation. You need to understand what a limited liability is versus, limited liability practice versus what a sole proprietor is, and the benefits and the differences between the two. So this is something you need to, if it's no more than taking a couple of business courses, but you should know this stuff because this is what's going to save you money. And the lack of knowledge is not anybody's fault but your own. You know what I mean? In this day and time, that's how you're going to be treated. So we have yin energy. So yin energy is interesting that showed up here because, again, that talks about sitting back. After you file all the paperwork, you have to wait. There's nothing you can really do. So what you want to do in this situation is take active approach on research. Loyal heart. You have to stay to the grind. You have to stay to the course of what you're doing here. This talks to me about this Ace of Cups with the loyal heart energy here. So it's like, what are you doing it for? What is the purpose behind this? What is your goal behind it? Is it to help others? Some of you're trying to start a nonprofit organization here. So you just want to remember what the goal is. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of bullshit you're going to have to go through. All right. But the thing is that, you have to keep in mind what the focus and the goal is. A lot of you are not going to have the support that you need at all. But you have to stay loyal to the course and know that it's going to take time. And while you're sitting waiting for going from one stage of the business to the other, do your research. Use that time to look at the next steps in the process. Use that time to plan effectively. You got a big goal, set up small goals to get to that big plan. And you're at one goal right now and you're at a waiting point because you're waiting for paperwork. Look at what the next goal is and start researching what you need to get to the next goal so that once the paperwork comes in for this original goal, you're already 2 steps ahead, and then bam, you're on to the next step. So it's very important that you use downtime to do research, to hone in on your skills. All right, that's what I'm getting for you guys. So let me know if this resonated in the comments. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.